everybody, Lisa here with another Vera Bradley bag of the day. Because it is Thursday, I wanted to do a Throwback Thursday video as well as my bag of the day video, which I just did for the triple zip hipster. But I did want to talk about this vintage piece, which is the perfect thing to talk about on Throwback Thursday, because I recently found this. I don't remember whether it was eBay or Poshmark. I feel like it was eBay. I do buy more stuff off of eBay than Poshmark, and I just feel like in general, with a few exceptions, I've preferred eBay, the stuff I find on eBay. Are you gonna walk by, Peaches, or are you just gonna hit my camera? Sorry. So this is something that I just found recently, and I just washed it, and so I thought, oh, this is perfect time to just take it out. And it's bigger than I thought it was going to be, which is not on the fault of the seller. The seller provided the measurements. I just didn't really register for me how big this tote was. I think this might be what was called the XL Vera Tote, but I'm not sure. If anybody knows for sure the official title of this item, name of this item, please leave me a comment. The closure is a cloth covered button and a loop, fabric loop. So I don't know if that would, clue people in. There is no hard removable base. It's just a quilted cotton base. I don't know if this is missing its base, but my suspicion is that this style never had a base, because I've seen other patterns in this style listed on eBay, and none of them seem to have a base. These ones with this loop and this covered button closure. So anyway, this pattern is Tavern on the Green, which is really one of my favorite patterns. Certainly one of my favorite vintage patterns. And I think it was 1990 was the release year. And this is my third thing in this pattern that I've acquired, and it's just hard to resist. So I'm always keeping an eye out for stuff in good shape, good condition in this pattern that's not too expensive. This was actually a really good price. Of course, I can't remember what it was, but I mean under 30, even with the shipping. So this was really a great price. It is a little faded. I do have two other sorry for the dog noise. I do have two other items, like I said, in this, and they are in a little bit better condition. The fabric is a little bit more vivid, and the black is a little bit more deep black, saturated black, and the colors are just a little bit more saturated. Like the bottom here, you can see this is, hadn't been exposed to the sun really. I feel like this tote, even though it's still in good condition and doesn't really show much wear on the fabric, or on the straps, or on the corners of the bag, or anything, it was exposed to light for sure. And so on the bottom, it wasn't as exposed to light, and that's the true, color, and that's how my other items look, which you can see, it's a little bit faded here, I feel like. It's a little bit more muted when you compare it to here. You can really see it if you look at the gold color flowers, I feel like. Here they're a bit lighter. Even the red's a bit more saturated here on the bottom. But I still think, it's just in such great shape. So on one side, it just has a slip pocket on the front there. Nothing on the back, pocket-wise. And inside, it's all quilted cotton inside, and it has 6 generously sized slip pockets. I mean, they go all the way down to the bottom of the bag, and they the fabric itself, the pocket fabric itself, is also the quilted cotton, so that's nice. Gives it a little bit of structure, because this does seem a little floppy, and when I Sorry, there's a big dog butt here now. So I can't really put this down on the bed anymore. Maybe if I switch spots. There we go. So when I first got it, it was sort of, you can see it wants to sort of flop here. And the whole top edge with the trim was doing that. And so then I threw it in the laundry, and I put some towels wrapped in plastic inside. And then it sort of, once it dried that way with this trim more upright, sort of retrained itself to stay upright. So it's been staying upright. Plus I've been keeping it stored with some stuff in it, nesting other bags and stuff in it to sort of help it keep a nice shape. So it has a very nice round shape right now. And what's so great about it is this on the top and the bottom of the bag, this, wide band of the trim, the coordinating trim. I think I have a sneaking suspicion that Duke is on top of my tape measure. I don't even feel it anymore. Sorry, Dookie, is there a tape measure over there? All right, well, odds are my tape measure is under my dog right now, and since he's 95 pounds, I'm not going to fight with him. It's a little under the weather. But if I had to guess, I would say that this trim is at least 3.5 inches, 3.5 inches. So that's a really nice wide band of trim. And what's so great about this pattern, I mean, so many great things with this pattern, right? I mean, just look at the rendering throughout. But it's got unicorns in the trim. So, and there's a rooster there. So I know I've featured this, I did, I think, another Throwback Thursday type, or, I feature my other bag in this. So I have talked a bit more at length about the pattern. So I don't have to repeat myself. But, it's just getting that unicorn is always such a treat. There's another one. So, when I saw this and then I got it and it was still in such, I could see the shape. It was in, fairly good shape. I was real pleased. I don't know how often I'll use it because it doesn't have the hard bottom and it is so old. I don't want to be rough with it. I don't want to wear it out. I might use it just for clothing to go to my dad's maybe, but I wouldn't load it up with heavy like tech stuff, like my laptop and my other things. I probably wouldn't use it for that. Oh, there's my tape measure right there. Blaming my dog. When in doubt, blame the dog. So yes, this trim here, 3.25 inches for the trim. And the bag itself, 15.5 high, about 16 across, so that's big. I'm sure I read the dimensions, but I got it. I thought it was going to be more of a shoulder bag size. Just in the picture, it didn't look so big. I had no frame of reference. I opened the package and I was like, oh my God, it's gigantic. I'll never use it. But, just happy to have it. Got an 11-inch strap drop. Keeping it shaped nicely now. So you can see it's really quite big. And even there's nothing in it, and the bottom is a little, a little droopy. Even faded though, it really looks good, I think. Still looks vivid enough. And I just have out one of my bright totes because I was curious, well, what is it most comparable to? And it's actually, I feel like in dimension, very similar and proportion to the bright tote, which has a sort of a rectangular look. The iconic Vera seems a little bit squat compared to it, a little bit squat and like more square, which I thought was interesting because I expected it to be almost exactly the same as the current iconic Vera. I thought that this would match this exactly, and it really doesn't. The bright tote actually is more, to me anyway, or similar in its shape. Strap drop might be a little different though. So I just thought I would hold that up just because I thought that was interesting. So anyway, just a quick one for Throwback Thursday, since I already had the other video up, and I have talked about this pattern before, but it's always fun to share a good vintage find. And so again, this is Tavern on the Green, 1990 release date, and just really still a dreamy pattern. Anyway, so thanks so much for watching, and hopefully see you next time.